If I have to make one more of these leak videos, we're finishing at this part. Beta Therian forms. Okay, I'm gonna go on the hunt and find them. Woo! I'm sorry, you won't hear that again. My freaking dudes. That is so cool. Now, I imagine if that's the real one, that one does look cooler. I enjoy the left one more because it's more serpentine, which just feels evil. But this is not what I thought it would be when I ended the last part. What I thought is, okay, the genies are based off these 4 Chinese creatures. One of them is an azure dragon, a black tortoise, a white tiger, and then like a red bird. These are actually what the 4 are based off, and even Enamorus fits into this. But use Enamorus as an example. Enamorus is the black tortoise. Clearly, they took some liberty, but went a little too far with them. So I thought that's what the betas would be. Oh, there's freaking more! So it's not just this. All 3 of them have a beta shown here. Honestly, they all look pretty close to the final versions. Masuda, sit down here right now. Who the frick on your team keeps working on stuff after it's done? These were fine. And I even like the left ones better for the reason I said at the start. It kind of looks like they go into their cloud and transform where no one can see. That's why they have so much more cloud remnants. Gamefreak, you freaking overthought it so much that the cloud aspect kind of just disappeared mostly. Who should I blame for this? Sugimori? I would love to blame him. Gossip King. He gossiped once, I'll never forget it. I mean, I guess I pardoned him, but I'm not president yet. Oh no, it's a weird lore we got going on. Are you ready for the we were robbed? Take a drink. No freaking way. How are y'all one step ahead of me? Tornadus was robbed, all right. You know what, I'll freaking like it too. An internal Gamefreak document finally confirms that they classify Fion as a semi-mythical Pokemon. Oh, they kind of have this more figured out than I thought. They have legendary Pokemon that don't lay eggs and only appear once, and then phantom Pokemon that don't exist in the main game. So Pokemon like Volcarona lay eggs, so they don't count as legendaries. Fion is a quasi-phantom. Don't make it public. Do not publicly call it a semi-mythical Pokemon. Also, since it's very confusing, it's better not to mention or state it too clearly. Yeah, but you know, why'd you freaking make it in the first place? Okay, I went through the whole list. It's exactly what you thought. All those Pokemon at the end of the decks, they're just considered illusions. Which I like, right? It's almost like calling them elusive Pokemon. Almost like Volcanion, Mew, and all. We don't know what they really are, only that no one can find them. I never thought this day would come. Wait a sec. Red and Blue are officially 20 years old in Sun and Moon. The feeling was that Sun and Moon took place 20 years after Red and Blue. It's 10 years. That's insane. But didn't we figure like Pokemon Black and White take place? Wait, let me find that timeline from before. Yeah, right here. Interesting. So check this out. You remember this, right? Gen 1 and Gen 3 happen. 3 years later, Gen 2 and kinda Gen 4 happen. 10 years later, Black and White happen. It's already been freaking 13 years, Pokemon. And then Black 2 and White 2 is another 2 years. That's 15 years. By their logic, Sun and Moon happen in between these two, which would include X and Y, because Dexio and Cena confirmed the events, you know, the chronology, as well as Sword and Shield, which seems to refer back to Sun and Moon with like Type Null and all that you can get in the post game. And then Scarlet and Violet refers back to Sword and Shield with Sonia's book. So you're telling me all that crap, Gen 6 to 9, happened inside here? So we're gonna play with this for a moment and then I'll tell you what I think. It's interesting to imagine all the gens after Black and White actually happening before Black and White, you know? And it leading up to Blueberry Academy, where when we reference Clay having a daughter and Drayden having a grandson, that it hasn't actually been like freaking 10 years since Black and White, that it's kind of all around the same time period. Like Black and White would happen in like a year after Blueberry Academy and all. But I'll tell you the actual answer, which is, in my opinion, they freaking changed their mind. It's that simple, because Colress shows up in Sun and Moon, boy is obviously post black and white. So even if we wanna pretend like Gen 6 to 9 happened inside here, they freaking forgot. So don't even hit me with this red and blue are officially 20. Were they in the time chamber or some crap? But okay, I haven't seen the picture, right? Maybe the supplementary info is gonna blow my mind. Oh, it's as freaking simple as this. I found it. It's just an unreleased confidential sheet on red and blue. This is so cool. My boy's got expressions. And that's his new hair. He's slowly growing it out. Looks like a freaking bird from above. And there it is. Reddo 20. Wow, look, they even got the heart gold soul silver crap and an angry looking one. Where's blue? Wow, yeah, blue's 22. You know, Pokemon, there's a very easy way to avoid this. Option 1, hire me. Option 2, freaking put some thought in. You can tell they don't freaking think about anything. Okay, that's a broad term. They don't think about anything. You know how I made fun of the anime like it was a SpongeBob episode? Like it kept resetting? Pokemon kind of just resets every game too. Scrapped Pokemon Z details finally revealed. Zygarde was originally gonna have 2 complete forms. Boys, what did I freaking say in my video? Mega X and Mega Y 100% are gonna happen. That's what I said. Look, this is the same strain of that idea. 2 different 100% forms. This is so cool. Because obviously if Zygarde gets all of its mass back, it doesn't get forced into one form. It's like a shapeshifter. It can become multiple 100% forms. And Zygarde is one of the most weird Pokemon ever too. The 3 forms we did get are kind of reminiscent of Loki's kids. The half dead and alive daughter, which is perfect, even has the Xerneas Yveltal colors. You got the wolf Fenrir, and you have the freaking serpent. And then Xerneas and Yveltal seem to kind of be based off Norse crap. But I freaking went nowhere. Form X and Form Y. So perfect Zygarde. Form X or Form Y. Form X was going to be based... Form X was going to be based on a large wolf that hunts Xerneas as its prey? The hell is going on? Wait, Zygarde hunts them. Dude, this has never been freaking shown before. Zygarde is supposed to be a freaking passive Pokemon. Zygarde's the freaking predator. Xerneas and Yveltal run away from him. How long this fight been going on? This is like Rayquaza on steroids. This is more like Norse, the large wolf that hunts the ultimate god, like Odin. And then Form Y was gonna use some anti-aircraft like weaponry to hunt Yveltal. Oh, I'm gonna edit out all the Norse stuff I talked about. So we have, where did this freaking come from? I speculated Zygarde being a synthetic Pokemon. Someone made it. My guy, if you got freaking weaponry, you are a weapon. Someone freaking made this guy. Both forms were repurposed into 10 and 100% Zygarde. Oh, this is ass. This is disgusting. I mean, in hindsight, what the frick is the point of 10% Zygarde? Why do I want a weaker... It's like a pre-evolution. Yeah, 480 BST or some crap. You never know, bro. In Pokemon Y, maybe you get Zygarde very early on and are slowly putting its cells together. And it was supposed to be much more meaningful, all these forms. So perfect Zygarde look like Optimus Prime was not a bad description at all. That's the first thing I said when I saw it. My guy was supposed to have like a giant rocket launcher. And... I'm not even sure if it's meant to be like Loki at all. Pokemon Z would Where's this coming from? It's just one version? Pokemon Z would feature Zygarde in these new forms along with Zygarde on the box art. I want to go to this parallel timeline. The Zygarde-like rock found in Sina Dexio's research lab is called the Z-Stone. You didn't freaking think to tell me this, Masuda? There are 2 cut plots for Zygarde. One for Pokemon Z and the other for Sun and Moon. You mean you intended Zygarde to have a role in the next games even if Pokemon Z was made? So maybe that's true. Maybe at the end of Pokemon Z, Zygarde was gonna disappear. And someone like Sycamore, AZ would mention it seems it's left Kalos to somewhere else. And then we wait 2 to 3 years. Sun and Moon comes out and we meet Zygarde where it went. There are 2 cut plots. Frick. In Pokemon Z, his plot is that it monitors... What the frick? Zygarde monitors Xerneas and Yveltal, who control the life energy of the Kalos region. That's a lot deeper than what they freaking are. This makes it sound like Xerneas and Yveltal are kind of like both awake and playing life and death. Mamadou, they're freaking sleeping. It appears when the balance between Xerneas and Yveltal is disrupted, creating a distortion in the world. And Zygarde fights either Xerneas or Yveltal to restore balance. So a distortion in the world. At first, it sounded like if they clash, a freaking portal opens up like a distortion world. What I think they mean is that if Xerneas beats Yveltal, then Zygarde comes and whoops its ass. Or if Yveltal successfully beats Xerneas, then Zygarde neutralizes it. So Zygarde is some kind of synthetic Pokemon, speculation, that was made to ensure Xerneas and Yveltal don't get the upper hand on top of each other. Since it's a swarm-like Pokemon, the way its individuals connect cause its body shape to change significantly. It changes into forms advantageous for battling Xerneas or Yveltal. This is so cool. I bet you its ability wasn't even gonna be Aura Break. It must be an ability like, what are they called? Reverse battles? It makes so much sense for them to set up, what are they called? Inverse battles in Pokemon X and Y, then them play a mainstay role concerning Zygarde in Pokemon Z. That's so freaking freaky. And based off what's written here, this is Pokemon Z straight up, not Pokemon XZ or X2. So what kind of story could have played out? Does Lysander... This doesn't even sound specifically like a sequel. It sounds just like Pokemon X and Y with the sister game spin like Emerald or Crystal. So what, Lysander would have awakened both of them, made them fight like Kyogre and Groudon do, and then maybe something you do earlier in the game determines who wins the fight, and then which perfect Zygarde freaking appears. But here's the question, what happens when perfect Zygarde appears? Because that boy on our side. It almost sounds like a war would happen between Xerneas and Yveltal, Lysander would catch the winner, and then Zygarde appears and teams up with you to fight Lysander. Either that or Zygarde is with you during the whole game anyway. And once Lysander catches Xerneas or Yveltal, then Zygarde calls everything and enters its perfect form. And it's like the first thing you send out. Kind of like when you fight N and Zekrom Reshiram is forced to be the first Pokemon. It's probably figure something like that. This is insanity. Pokemon Sun and Moon. Okay, the other scrap storyline. Communication from Dexio. A message is coming from Dexio. There's a beast in the End Cave. Zygarde has arrived. Having judged that a beast is a threat to the ecosystem, you're told to go to the End Cave with Zygarde. The beast is discovered in the deepest part of End Cave. Yeah, that's Zygarde. Dexio's explanation. It's not Zygarde! Zygarde came to Lola to defeat the beast! Zygarde is eager to fight. The Pokeball containing Zygarde is shaking. You send out Zygarde. Oh, I'm so stupid. You're supposed to already assemble perfect Zygarde and then bring it to this special cave in the post-game, where you fight a beast. You're just what to be the freaking A legendary. Removing the Pokédeco. Cena removes the Pokédeco. Since the newly synthesized Zygarde now considers the player as its trainer, Cena removes her mark. I don't know what this means. This seems like a non-central translation, so I'll trust it. So we have the Z form, which is the one you'd find in Pokemon X and Y. Then they even refer to the Pokemon Z game as the upper version, which does sound like it's a Pokemon Emerald to X and Y. The Verse X form and the Verse Y form. And of course, the third form, an individual form. So they didn't split Zygarde cells and cores. Boys, I think I'm freaking done. I'm freaking caught up. I can't find any more. I'm just scrolling up. Everything's done. Oh, frick. Abyssal Ruins lore.